But the thing is it's not a lie. It's a future lie. They're telling you he's lying. They're saying, trust me, he's going to lie to you. What he's saying right now is going to be proven one day to be a lie. And nobody's buying that. Nobody is buying that. Then when somebody says they're going to do something that hasn't been done yet, but they're going to do it, they're saying they're going to do it, nobody is buying that he's just not going to do it.
Right. But that doesn't make sense. It's one of those, is that a false, what is that? One of those.
Well, it's not a lie until you didn't do it.
Right. And a lie is something that you know you're doing. Like if I lie to you right now, it's because I know the truth. And I'm going to tell you something different. That's a lie.
How about the mayor of Cincinnati? He ran on stopping the choo-choo train.
Oh, and God bless his soul. Dude ran and said, this debacle.
We will not have this choo-choo train in our city. And guess what? He won on that platform. As soon as he got into office, he had to go back on it, but we won't call that a lie. And I don't think anybody considers it a lie.
They showed him once he won. The Democrats took him in the back room.
They pulled the curtains.
Yes. We've got $80 million of federal funds. We spent that first.
And we made sure we spent it.
And if you don't fund the rest of the $50 million that might bankrupt this city, you got to give the $80 million back.
Right. Right. So it's either bankrupt them now or in the future, and I guess he just went within the future, I guess. I don't know.
And I did look at those rails downtown. They are crooked.
I told you they were.
Dude, drunk dude.
They didn't even try.
They hired a drunk crew, or somebody drew the plans up and they had Tourette, or they had the Michael J. Fox syndrome when they were drawing the blueprint.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it don't look right, but hey, he's the engineer.
There's a kink in the track here, and I'm not going to deviate from the blueprints.
I'm going to tell you right now, folks, you get on that thing, and people are going to start throwing up because the whole thing's going to sway.
And it will be not enough for you to notice it, but you're going to get sick.
Okay, so out of all these cities, there's a dozen cities that got funds from the federal government at welfare to build rail cars like this. And one city might be St. Louis or somewhere in the Midwest. One of the cities said that they were going to make their choo-choo train, their rail car, free. And you're listening to smithradio.com. Find us on facebook.com/smithradio. Listen to us live every Sunday evening at 5 o'clock. You want to be on the show? Call in 772-49-SMITH. So these rail cars, the one city made their rail cars free. Anybody can ride them. It's free. Go ahead.
All right.
After a couple of months, they had to stop that program. They're now charging $1 because the only people in the rail cars were homeless people sleeping and bums.
Why would you want to be on the train?
Because it might be warm, it might be raining, and they were camping out in the train.
In their feces?
Yes. So they had to raise it to $1. Other cities have implemented, a couple dollars to ride it. Anyways, they're saying that none of these rail cars will ever produce a fraction of the money spent. And and that city that I was telling you about that for free, they had the highest riders of their rail cars. It's like 2,600 a day.
Okay. Well, here's the thing.
But
it may
was
have been
free.
practical.
But it was free.
It was free. Okay. But
2,600 a day. And the homeless people, they raised it $1, 1,200 a day. So cut it in half. The ridership cut in half.
So 1,200 of them were just homeless people looking for a place to sleep.
Right. So at $1,200 a day, at $1, it's $1,200 a day. Does that pay the operation cost of a day?
I don't know. I don't know how much it costs to run those things.
There is no way that $1,200.
Well, and also, how long? Even if it was more than what it costs to run it, how long does it take to pay off the $150 million that it cost to build it in the first place?
Right. Just mind-boggling.
I'll tell you what. I watched them build those tracks downtown.
Were they drinking their lunch?
Well, I mean, it may be crooked, it may be all kinked and everything like that. But they dug a 6-foot wide hole about, I'm going to say 2 to 3 feet deep.
Wow.
And it went around a 3-mile circuit. That is not 150 miles worth of digging up anything.
No.
It's ridiculous.
No.
Okay, so
who said 150 miles?
No, 150 million.
Oh, 150 million.
I don't. Well, 130. You said 50 million plus
50
80
and
million.
80, right, yeah.
Yeah. They dug a 6-foot wide hole, 2 feet deep, 3 miles long.
I hope they're not on the border project.
Trump is going to be personally supervising that.
Well, he's got to, because that's his
baby.
He has staked his entire campaign.
Even Sean Hannity, who's a big cheerleader for Trump, said he doesn't build that wall, and he is definitely a one-term president.
And now that we brought up the wall, and this is going to make your eyes gush blood and everywhere, Mexicans have caught word.
Okay.
Of the wall.
Oh, I think I heard this story. Go ahead and tell us the bad news.
Of the wall. Mexicans have caught word of the wall.
Of course they have. Europeans have heard and are cheering this on.
And they've also caught word that Lion Ted has dropped out.
Okay.
And they're watching the poll numbers, and they see that it is very feasible that Trump may be the president of the United States. So they've got 5 months left until he's president. So they've been flooding.
All right, so let's just stop right there.
Border.
Oh, let's just stop right there.
And then there's border agents. Hold on, there's border agents that say we are told we are not allowed to be on the border.
Right.
We have to stand back.
The Obama administration.
Right. And then the guy running for Paul Ryan's seat in Wisconsin went to the border. Okay. And he said, I'm here on the
Canadian border? Wisconsin.
Yeah, they were trying to stop more Cruz people coming over. No,
jeez! Wow, we lost about 100 viewers.
Cruz called for reinforcements. No, he went to the Mexican border and he just started taking pictures. He said, "Look, there's nobody here except illegals crossing the border."
Does it look like that scene from Braveheart where they were going to battle?
Yeah.
Except instead of going towards each other, they're all going in the same direction.
Right.
They're going,
floods
running.
They're reporting now that the amount of illegals crossing the border has more than doubled, and some of these border agents said we've never seen this many people come across the border.
So here's what you do. If I'm Donald Trump, I come out now. I get a press conference going that looks like that one that he did where he was trying to act presidential.
Yeah, okay.
And I say, listen, we all know where I'm going to be in 5 months. All right. No, seriously.
Right. Okay.
He doesn't have to say it that way, but as part of this wall plan, anybody who cannot prove that they were in this country for, I'll say 9 months. 9 months. If you cannot prove that you were in this country, it could be a pay stub. It could be something like an apartment rent.
You had to be in this country. If you came in 2016, you had to show me you were here in 2015.
You are being deported even if you didn't break any laws whatsoever.
Well, but the one law you did break was jump the border.
Right.
Which is a felony.
If the only law, because we've talked about this on this show a lot, and I'm sure there's a lot of diehard, principled, conservative constitutionalists that are probably going to have blood shoot out of wherever right now when I say this. But there is no humane way at this point in time, all these decades later, of not doing some sort of amnesty. There's no way to do it. It's impossible. It's 100% impractical without the kind of human rights violations that we haven't seen since the Trail of Tears.
And so back in the day, Reagan signed amnesty, and he was told, and he was kind of tricked into it. But they were going to secure the border.
And they never did.
And then after 9/11, the Congress, the House, the Senate, everybody voted on a bill to build the wall.
Yeah, it's funded.
No, it's approved.
Yeah.
It's never been funded.
No, I heard it. I heard the funds are there. They just haven't spent it on any. They haven't
done
anything. It's there. The funds are there. It's been funded.
Well, somebody needs to pull
That's why when Trump becomes president, this may happen on day one because the funds are already there.
He can pull the ripcord.
Yeah, I mean, flat out. He could say,
Wow.
Show up at the bus stop. We're going down. We're gonna
Make this happen.
We're gonna have a convoy of cement trucks and the trucks the
you know what
the flatbeds with the cinder blocks and all that stuff.
You know what I'd do if I was president? Here's what I'd do. I would do exactly what they did with the railroads back in the day.
Oh, he's gonna dig the first.
I would say to any person, any human being, any person, any business that builds or has a stake.
Oh, pay per mile.
Per mile. If you build 1 mile of the wall of the border, the federal government will give you 1 square mile of that land at that space.
Yeah, but that's wasteland down there.
Whatever.
There's got to be
no, there's
just
everything's
pay 'em per
wasteland.
mile.
Well, it's not all waste. Is it all wasteland?
There's Yuma.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's desert. And then there's
we
more
can-
desert. There's
Yeah.
El Centro.
El
El
Centro.
Centro, which is the city. When you go east of there, follow the border east on the Rio Grande, I just don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It's wasteland
Make
as far as I know.
Well, then that's why we can give it away then.
They'll be like, wow, 100,000 acres?
Yes. What? Okay, you build 10 miles of border, you get 10 by 10 miles of land.
Oh, this is
Free.
great. And then they
Free.
get there and like, what am I going to do with this?
But you already signed the contract.
I served for 4 years in the military, and 3 of those 4 years, I was in my permanent duty station on the border of Mexico. It's a wasteland. I can tell you that from
I've been to Yuma, and there's all kinds of dune buggies.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
rail cars, a lot of racing.
Well, that's
and
because there's the
sand dunes.
the Sand Dune National Park or something like that, and there's
okay.
literally, it looks like a movie set.
Yeah.
There's like, as far as the eye can see, perfect
Oh,
sand.
it was like it's probably where they filmed the Star Wars part where
They did.
R2-D2 and C-3PO were walking
Right.
through the desert.
So for those of you listening that aren't familiar with the desert, there are a vast majority of the desert is actually like rocks with very little vegetation. You get some cacti and some bushes that are missing all their leaves, but mostly like lots of rock formations and mountains. That's the desert. It's not sand like you see in Star Wars. But the sand dunes near Yuma, Arizona, and actually goes for like 100 miles. It's like a 3-mile wide by 100-mile long area that is fine powder sand. In fact, we took a skateboard and took the trucks and wheels off of it and rode a skateboard down the sand dune, down a hill, like slid on it. It was crazy. So anyway, that's kind of
Okay.
yeah. But you could ride your sand rail there, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, then that's the pictures we'll show these people that are going to build the wall and the
Like,
border.
yeah.
Look how much fun! It's like
Right.
that. It's like that commercial for herpes.
Herpes.
The commercial for the medicine for herpes. These people, because I want it now because
You want herpes?
Well, look at these people on the commercial. They're hiking, they're biking, they're traveling, they're going across the
So you're
globe.
missing out if you don't have herpes.
Yes,
Okay.
the commercial is unbelievable. Speaking of that, and was it Trump? No, it was Tim Allen, the comedian. Mm-hmm. Tim Tooltime Allen.
Right.
It said the Clintons are like herpes.
Oh, nice.
He said when you think they're gone, they show back up. You just can't get rid of them.
Can't get rid of the herpes. I mean, the Clintons.
So speaking of that, did you hear about this new book out?
By Tim Allen?
No. It's called The Confessions of Congressman X.
So is he anonymous?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
The
Is there
title
any revelations in
the
there?
title of this article, Breitbart posted this. Title of this article: "Screw the Next Generation. Anonymous Congressman Writes Tell All."
Oh,
And
boy.
in this article, it gets into the details. In the first line of this, and this comes from the Daily Mail UK, but I got it on Breitbart. It says, and this is written in the book by the congressman: My main job is to keep my job, to get